This is question number 8 of homework 2 for chapter 3, problem 3-18, common size and common base year financial statements. In addition to common size financial statements, common base year financial statements are often used. Common base year financial statements are constructed by dividing the current year account value by base year account value. Thus, the result shows the growth rate in the account. So in class, we talk about the common size financial statements, including the common size balance sheet and common size income statement. This question is talking about another type of common standardized financial statements, which is called common base year financial statements. So these common base year financial statements are constructed by dividing the current year account value by the base year account value. So what that means is, suppose the base year is 2016 here. So the current year is 2017. So the common base year financial statements is constructed by dividing the for example, the cash here, the 2017 cash value by the 2016 cash value, and accounts receivable is 2017 accounts receivable value divided by the 2016 accounts receivable value, and so on and so forth. So that's called common base year financial statements. Prepare the common size balance sheet and the common base year balance sheet for the company. Use 2016 as the base year. So we should pay particular attention to the rounding requirement. Do not round intermediate calculations. Enter all common size answers as a percent. Round your common size answers to 2 decimal places. So this is the because this is in percentage, so this should be the 32.16%, right? Because these are expressed in percentages. And the common base year answers to 4 decimal places. So this rounding requirement for the common size and the common base year financial statements are different for this question. So for this this is not a very actually a very straightforward question, as long as we understand the meaning of common sized balance sheet, which means it's every item on the balance sheet, it should be divided by the total assets. So then you can express that as a percentage, because total assets is the largest number on the balance sheet. So all these percentages, it should be all these percentages here should be in general should be less than 1, and the common base year should be the number, as we said, in 2017 divided by the number in 2016. So the calculation should be very straightforward as long as we understand the meanings of both financial statements. So you can have many different tools to help you to calculate this question. You can use just a very simple scientific calculator, or you can use a financial calculator, or you can choose to use Excel for this question. I choose to use Excel because one of the greatest advantages of using Excel is that it automatically meets this do not round intermediate calculations requirement. And also, as well as I will demonstrate, using Excel can be very convenient, saves the time to input many of these numbers. What we can do is simply to copy this number to our Excel sheet. So I can show you how I can do that. So we can just looks like this is not so, yeah. So we should be careful about what numbers to copy. So let me so these numbers Okay, so you see, these numbers are copied to my Excel sheet, and I don't need this column here because this is the input in connect common size. So these two I also don't need. Okay, so this is also common size. I should probably insert one row, one column, just to be able to view better. So now I can adjust the width of each column so you can view more clearly, and maybe enlarge this a little bit so you can view it even more clearly. And this is just to make sure every number shows up clearly. Okay. So this is common sized. So the definition is for 2016, the common sized balance sheet is every item on the balance sheet divided by the total assets. The total assets is right here, the total assets. And for that, it's better to use a different name. So asset 16. So this is the total assets for the 2016 number. And why do I choose a variable name for this? Because if I don't choose a variable name, rather just use the C11 number, then when I pull the cells down, Excel will think that Excel will also automatically choose a denominator which will just follow the order of these items. What I mean is, I can show you what I mean pretty straightforwardly. So now, I mean, if I divide, as we said, the common size balance sheet is every item divided by the total assets. So if I don't choose a variable name for this, I just use the C11. So it's C5, which is cash, divided by C11. For cash, no problem. But if now I want to pull this cell down to automatically calculate the percentages for the other items on the balance sheet, you can see that this has a problem. Because now for the accounts receivable, this is accounts receivable C6. Now Excel will automatically also go one row below, which is C12, right, divided by C12. But C12 here doesn't have any number. That's why it's shown up. This is C12. It doesn't have any number there. That's why it's shown up as an error message. So now if I change this to be the variable name asset 16. So, and this is, oh sorry, I should change this one, the asset 16. Asset 16. For this cash is the same, but when I pull this row down, all the way down to the other side of the balance sheet, the bottom side in this case, so total liabilities and the owner's equity, you can see it's 1 because by the balance sheet identity we know that they are always equal to each other. But now you see the second, for example, the accounts receivable here, it's C6 divided by asset 16, which is exactly what we need. So the rest of the job is simply to convert this, to express this column in terms of, according to the rounding requirement, in terms of the percentages. And so convert that into percentages. And we can actually even further simplify the this. I don't need this. We can further simplify this by let me add one column, because if you look at the expression here, common size and common size here are the percentages. So we only need to write down the number before the percent sign. But if you just copy the number here, for example, if you copy the number back to the cell, it comes with a percentage sign, which we don't want. So what I can do is to multiply this number by 100. Then, and once I do that, I don't need the percentage sign, so I just convert this back for max cells and choose a number, and this is choose 2 decimal places according to the rounding requirement. So do this for every number on the common size balance sheet. So now you see I only kept the number before the percent sign. So now I can copy these numbers back to the cell. So it's 2.93 and this is 7.42. This is accounts receivable, and the inventory, this is 13.22. And the total is simply this 23.56. And net plant and equipment is right here, 76.44. And total assets, obviously, that's by 100%. Right, also copy that number. Now get to the other side of the balance sheet. It's accounts payable. We just go down. Accounts payable, it's right here. So it's 14.66. And notes payable, that's 6.36. And total, you simply add these two numbers up, 21.02. Okay, further go down long-term debt. Long-term debt is right here, 8.68. And now the common stock and paid-in surplus. Common stock and paid-in surplus is 13.63. And accumulated retained earnings is 56.67. You can see actually more than majority of the assets are actually retained earnings, accumulated retained earnings for this firm. So you can see that clearly from the common size the balance sheet. And the total, this is equity. The total equity is simply so almost 2/3, more than 2/3 of the assets are financed by equity. So that's what this percentage tells us. And less than 1/3 of the asset is financed by debt. So and total liability and owner's equity is 100% again. So we have done that for the common sized balance sheet for 2016, and we can do a similar job for 2017. Let me put the number here. Okay. So find the total assets. This is asset 16, so this is asset 17. So then I should divide every number by that asset 17. So for this is cash, I believe, cash I5 divided by asset 17. And pull all the way down to the bottom of the balance sheet. And you can see now the numbers are in the decimal places, and as we said, we just need to multiply these numbers by 100, and this will be in the percentages, but we only kept the percentages before the percent sign, and we also follow the rounding requirement for math cells and keep only 2 decimal places. And this is the common sized balance sheet for 2017. And also similar to what we did, copy these numbers back to connect. Let's copy the numbers back. And I can actually hide these columns so I can see clearly the corresponding variable name, the item name, accounts receivable, just not to miscopy any information back to connect. So inventory is 13.23, and that's what we need. And the total current assets is 23.75. So you can see that these 2 years, the current assets doesn't change very much, right? That's very easily seen from these percentages. And fixed assets is now this is 76.25. Again, this doesn't change very much, a little bit. And the total assets is 100%, obviously, and going down to the other side of the balance sheet, accounts payable. Accounts payable here is 14.51. And notes payable 5.48. So the total current liabilities is simply the sum of these two is 19.99. So notes payable has been decreased a little bit. Long-term debt is 9.85 now. So that also has been increased a little bit. But you can see that the sum of these two, which is the total debt, doesn't change very much, and we can also see that from the total equity. The common stock and paid-in surplus, that's 12.41. That has increased a little bit, which means that the firm has issued more equity over the year on net. So accumulated retained earnings 57.75 also increased a little bit. So the total has also been the total equity. Actually, the percentages has been I think I said something wrong. The common stock actually has been going down. It's not going up. So you can see that from the number. That's why the percentages, the total percentages for the equity doesn't go up, even though the accumulated retained earnings goes up. So, and then finally the total liabilities and owner's equity is again 100%. So common base year financial statements, according to the description, is simply the 2017 value divided by 2016 value. So you can also do that pretty easily on Excel. Now we need to show the 2016 unhide values. So, and then since I have done all this, I think it's better to keep it for a while. So common, this is common delete all this. Why don't I do it here? Okay. common base year. So this is common base year. And again, this is 2017 value divided by 2016 value. So and this is actually this is the so why this is 1? I think yeah, somewhat it's better to get rid of that. So we work here base year. Okay, so now this is equals 2017 value divided by, so that's I5 divided by, I believe, C5, the 2016 value. So now this is very good. And if you go back to connect, this doesn't have a % sign, so that means we should work with the numbers. Yeah, so keep the 4 decimal places. So keep 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Yes. And so it's 1.2348. And pull all the way, again, pull all the way down to the bottom. So, and then we can hide the intermediate numbers. So you can see clearly. I think it's better to keep that. Okay. So yeah, get rid of this. And common base year for cash 2017 value is 2.2348 times of 2016 value. So we just copy that number back. So you can see that growth, the cash has grown for 23.48% from past year. And accounts receivable also has grown 11.86% from past year. And the inventory has grown too. And total has grown 14.13% from 2016. And net plant and equipment has also grown, see, 1.12.96. And total assets has grown 13.23%. So the firm size has increased, yeah, over 2016. And accounts payable, this is accounts payable, also has grown 12.004%. But note the notes payable. Notes payable actually has been going down. Yeah, has decreased around 2.39% over 2016. And the total has grown, but the growth of the total, you can see based on our observation, is driven by the growth in accounts payable. That's the total current liabilities. And long-term debt has grown, yeah, actually significantly over last year. Yeah, almost 29%, almost 30%. So it has increased dramatically. And this is common stock and paid-in supplies, almost unchanged, only growed a little bit. But accumulated retained earnings has grown more significantly, 15.38%. And the total has also grown, but based on our observation, the growth of the total is mainly driven by the growth of the retained earnings. Finally, the growth of the total liabilities and owner's equity is the same as the growth of the total assets. So now we have basically done this question. Let me check my answers. Okay, so we have done every number correct.